And I look at this and say, okay, did I know that Monster, do you know how you spell monster in German? M-O-N-S-T-E-R, right? Do you think I planned for that when I was sitting at my dining room table in Boston, figuring this out? No, no way. In Italian, in Spanish, monstro, monstra, right? Incredible. When you're in China, they actually use the English word monster. They don't even translate it. It's that pervasive, right? That was luck, but the hard work was naming my company Monster, right? Because nobody liked this name. We'll talk about this. So I think if you look at luck, sometimes we see it as a definition, the junction of opportunity and preparation. I think this country needs a little luck right now. What do you think? Yeah? Do you think you have been lucky over the last 5 years? Absolutely. But what was at the foundation of that luck? Some vision, some hard work, some ability to execute quickly around an opportunity. Do you think you still have those skills? So I looked at this. Mike Moritz, he is probably the top venture capitalist in the whole world, right? He invested in PayPal and Yahoo and Google and more recently YouTube, and he invested in my company. I called him up and said, "Can I come and see you and tell you about my new idea?" He said, "Sure." I came out and he said, "Before you start, I typically don't invest in second-time entrepreneurs that had a big hit the first time around." And I said, "Why?" He said, "It's just a feeling I get. They're not hungry anymore." Danger, danger. Right? Okay, so I'm sitting in this meeting like you're sitting here right now. It is hard to be hungry when you're driving a Range Rover. That is the most uncomfortable laugh I've heard in a while. Right? But think about what has to happen, right? So Mike said to me, "You made 3 mistakes already." He said, "You flew first class out." He said, "Someone else put your presentation together, and you have 10 of your best buddies working for you." So what I did when I started, I took 3,000 square feet, and I started by myself. I stayed up all night doing the presentation. I never went to sleep before I met Mike Moritz. I was doing my presentation right up until I got in the car to go over to his office. And I flew coach because I decided that until I was profitable again, that unless someone paid for me to do it, that I was going to fly coach. Did I get the investment? Absolutely. And I am lucky because I have Sequoia as an investor in my business. And even as my business has struggled to find its place, I have always had the anchor of Sequoia in the middle of it. And so that luck comes from hard work, but you continue to be lucky. My definition of an entrepreneur, when everybody else thinks you're crazy, and you still think you have a good idea, and you act on it. There are a lot of entrepreneurs. Everybody has a friend that has an idea that never does anything about it. So my friend's idea was that he was going to create a sucker that had cough medicine in it for kids. Now, one of the things you find out about your ideas is the people closest to you are the least supportive because they know you're full of shit. So my buddy says to me, "I got this idea, I've been thinking about it." He's got this little drawing. I said, "Your drawing's a sucker." He said, "Yeah, but that little cough medicine bottle next to it, I'm going to put that inside the sucker." I'm like, "I think it's a really good idea, but what if some kid chokes and sues you for $1 million? Right? Was I helpful as a friend of this entrepreneur? No, horrible, right? But I gave what friends do, the reality of the situation. Well, no entrepreneur, remember you start alone as an entrepreneur. There is no reality idea that came out of your head. It's crazy. But no one else is doing it. You try it out on some people and everyone says it won't work. But you still think it will work. That's the beginning of being an entrepreneur. When I think about this, every idea should get killed because no customer ever wants a new idea. They want you to fix the idea that you're working on right now. And you're starting to think about the next curve, the next idea. Everybody just wants to fix what you have now. If you look at your country in this way, just fix what you have now. Just fix the banks and everything will be okay. Well, it might actually take some new ideas. But you're going to throw some ideas around. You got a little competition here, but the ideas are all going to sound kind of odd. But one of those ideas will be YouTube. YouTube sounded like an odd idea. When it came into Mike Moritz, he said it was like Flickr for video. I think it's probably worth 10, 20, 30 million bucks, right? It turned out that it was worth 1.6 billion, and it only took 16 months to create that value. 1.6 billion in value. When I think about being an entrepreneur, I also think about what I think is the opposite, which is being insane. What's the definition of being insane? Say it again.
Believe in your statement, everyone else does it.
Okay, that wasn't exactly my definition, but I think... Yes. So there's probably correctness in both those. And being an entrepreneur, of course it's correct because you said it, right? But what I was looking for is doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result, right? So you have two choices. Either you're an entrepreneur and you're chasing ideas and trying to convince people of ideas, or what? Or you're doing the same thing every day and expecting something different to happen, right? So how many of you are insane? How many of you are entrepreneurs or would like to be entrepreneurs? Right? I think this is about chasing ideas. We have any Einsteins in the room? I have an invitation. I'd like you to take your shoe off. Can we get some house lights, please? And can you hold your shoe up in the air like this? Shoe off. Hold it up in the air like this. It's an invitation. You don't have to do it. But if you have your shoe in the air, I want you to hold it up firmly. And you can make some noise for me right now. Right? Hold it up. Let me hear some. Like, you out there? You got your shoe up? Be proud of that shoe. Don't go like this. That sucks. Hold it straight up in the air so I can see it, right? And you might suggest to your neighbor, your friend, dude, take your shoe off. Come on, bring your shoe up here. Come on, let's bring it out. We got any more shoes? Shoe up, make some noise. Let me hear it. Come on, we got a party out there? All right, there we go. All right. Okay, so, thank you very much. So my shoe innovator in the room is back here, not the guy in the jacket. Raise your hand. You took your shoe off. Try it. Just raise your hand right here. I'm pointing at down to right there. Stand up. What's your name? Goodnar. So you're my shoe innovator. You were the first person to take the shoe off in the room. Have you ever seen me speak and do this before? No. All right. So nice hand for Goodnar for being a shoe innovator. Why did you do it? What? It sounded like something you like to do. Can I have your belt? No, I'm kidding. No. Anything else? Just sounded fun. Okay, a lot of you brought your shoes out right away. Tell me, why'd you do it? Yell it out to me.
Because I'm not used to it.
You're not used to it? It was something new? Mm-hmm. Come on.
Thought you were going to give me way more dollars.
Oh, more dollars, right? I got my shoe up. I won 20. I'm sorry, that was the last exercise, right? Okay, who brought their shoe out a little late? But you got your shoe? Now, it's funny. People start pointing at people. I love this, right? Yeah, Jimmy took a while to get his shoe off, right? All right, so raise your hand if you got your shoe off, but it came off late. Go on, ladies. So how come it took you a little longer?
No good excuse.
No good excuse. You're just slow? Okay, so you were kind of thinking through the process. Anybody else? Shoe off late. Yell it out to me. Why'd it take a while? Oh, invitation. Okay. Sometimes new ideas are actually an invitation. They're not a demand. Many cases, you actually have to go and do it where, like, you have to go get in the front row. There's no repercussion if you don't do it. Raise your hand if you never took your shoe off. Right? So your arm goes up in the air. It just doesn't go up with a shoe in it. Right? Okay, so you guys are my shoe laggards. As you're leaving today, I want you to round your shoulders a little. I want you to walk like this. I want you to say, I'm a shoe laggard. Right? All right, what am I doing with this exercise? Talk to me. What do you think? Initiative. Okay.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Why teamwork?